Well, downtown Portland is positively humming with excitement this morning as the first of 10 commencement ceremonies at PSU are getting underway.
Yes, and one of those graduates, Jamie Pryde, is a brain cancer survivor. Cor Harlan is live now. You have her story this morning, Cor.
Yeah, this is an interesting story, real story of perseverance here. More than 4,800 people going to graduate over the next 3 days here in 10 separate ceremonies, as you mentioned, here at the Viking Pavilion just up the street from us right here. You mentioned Jamie Pryde, a survivor of brain cancer. Jamie would like to make a positive impact in the criminal justice field as she graduates today and moves out into the community from here on out.
Hi, my name is Jamie Pryde, and I am currently a master's student at Portland State University in the School of Criminology and Criminal Justice. So my father was in law enforcement. He spent 32 years at Olympia Police Department, and then he was chief of police in Gladstone for 6 years before he retired. He has been my inspiration in everything that I've done and the reason why I'm pursuing a career in criminal justice. As a child growing up, I saw the impact that policing had on my father and how difficult it was, especially being in Washington and Oregon. You know, it doesn't change between states, it's a hard job. And it was hard for him to balance family and his professional career. And that kind of stress isn't something that I necessarily want for myself or my family. And I knew growing up that being an officer wasn't something that I wanted to do, but I still wanted to be in law enforcement to some capacity. I just didn't know what that was yet until I took a crime analysis class in my undergraduate here at Portland State, and that's when I realized that that is where I belong and that's where I fit in with the system. Not only do I want to continue on his legacy in the field, but I also want to have one myself as well and pave a path for myself and follow in his footsteps and carry on his legacy. So in 2015, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I was initially going to Portland State for opera and higher education. And because of my diagnosis, I had to leave school, and my parents became my caregivers during that time. And eventually I came to a point where my symptoms were manageable and I could continue to go back to school. So first step was community college. And then PSU has a great transfers finish free program that's in partnership with Mount Hood. And I actually had my tuition completely paid for as a transfer student to complete my undergraduate degree. So that's why I chose Portland State. Not only was it close to home, but they have a great assistance program, especially if you have great grades. I really fell in love with the faculty. So the School of Criminology and Criminal Justice has some of the best professors I've ever taken classes from. It's a community that I feel I really belong in, and I've never felt so loved and supported by a community of instructors. So when I graduated with my undergrad, I didn't want to leave. And I knew that for what I wanted to do in my career, I would need a master's. So it was kind of the perfect situation. I got to stay a little bit longer, spend some more time with the instructors, get to work with them hands-on, and then continue my education. I'm really proud of myself. I've worked really hard for this, and yeah, I'm just really proud.
That's a great story she tells there. You know, just looking at the enrollment breakdown here from PSU, 60% part-time, full-time students, 40% part-timers. That lends itself to people like Jamie, who are maybe having a life situation like fighting cancer. A lot of folks who go to school here already have careers, or maybe making career changes, or maybe in their mid-30s, have families, have other jobs, and are transitioning somewhere else into a different line of work or field of studies. And Portland State University really bends over backwards to accommodate a lot of these folks here, including the brain cancer survivor you just talked to here. The first graduation ceremony starts in less than an hour there at the Viking Pavilion, the first of 10 of them that will occur over the next 3 days here on the campus of Portland State University. And it's a proud time for a lot of students and their families and people who supported them along the way.
Yeah, it represents so much hard work and overcoming some real insurmountable odds.
Yeah,
And
some incredible
congrats to
stories out there.
Jamie and all the graduates. Very cool.
Appreciate it, Cora.